Hello, my name is Michelle Perez and I'm a student at San Jose State University and I'm a student of Bob Rucker's MCOM 105 class, and today I will be shooting my final video project. First and foremost, I would like to go over Keanu's video. So after reviewing the video, one of the first things I definitely want to address are the two stories that he brought up with TSA officers at the airport. He mentioned that with being Middle Eastern, there's this fear that comes with going to airports, that even if he did absolutely nothing wrong, there's that fear that he might be discriminated against by officers because they might believe stereotypes that come with Middle Eastern people, which is horrible, and it's definitely a valid fear in this country. And he talked about a time where he was around 11 or 12 years old, and a TSA officer stopped him at the airport and he demanded that his family show how much money they were carrying, and he counted the bills one by one and he was questioning them in front of everyone at the airport. And this story absolutely broke my heart, and it's just so unfortunate, and it makes me so upset and angry that with being a minority, there are many stereotypes that will be held against you. No matter how you look, no matter how you present yourself, no matter how you act, that there are these stereotypes that will always be linked back to you. Overall, I really enjoyed watching his video, and he was a great speaker, and I feel like I learned a lot just hearing his perspective. Next video I will be discussing is Colleen's video. So one of the first things I did want to touch on is how interesting it was to hear her talk about how different reporting in the South is compared to reporting here in the Bay Area. She went into detail about life in North Carolina and how it's like being a news reporter. So it was definitely really interesting to hear her perspective, since I've never been to the South and I have no idea what it might be like and how different just your work life will be over there. So that was really interesting to hear. And another thing I definitely want to talk about when it comes to Colleen's video is when she touched on the George Floyd situation and what happened with that and how it caused a spark in conversation about race. And just like she said, and just like Bob said, I'm really grateful that now we're starting to discuss race, and especially race in like the workplace and work environment, since I noticed that sometimes a lot of different companies tend to not really expand as far as diversity goes. So I'm glad that this has definitely started a conversation about this, since this is very important, and that a lot of like top people in companies are starting to open their eyes more and are hiring more diversely. So it's something that I'm glad that has become a result of what happened with George Floyd. The video was very interesting, and I really enjoyed hearing her perspective as a news journalist in 2020, since a lot has happened. There have been many news stories, so it was really interesting to hear her perspective on everything. Okay, so next I will be discussing Randy Vasquez's video. So after watching his video, one of the main things that really stood out to me was the format and just the style of the interview between Bob and Randy. I really liked how it wasn't a traditional sit-down interview where they were just discussing with one another. They really got to talk about all of the incredible photos that Randy took at the Black Lives Matter protest shortly after the unfortunate death of George Floyd. And each photograph was so powerful in its own way, and it was just incredible to hear his perspective while he was taking the photos, especially when he talked about how he actually got shot at by rubber bullets and how luckily it ricocheted against his skin and it could have broken a bone. But one major takeaway from Randy's video is just how scary and potentially life-threatening it is to be a news reporter in 2020, and I really enjoyed watching his interview with Bob. Overall, MCOM 105 was probably my favorite class this semester, and Bob Rucker is probably one of the best professors I've ever had at San Jose State University, and I've been there for 4 years now, so that definitely says a lot. He has made me become more outspoken. He has helped me articulate my thoughts on important issues, and for that I can't thank him enough. And he's definitely given me a lot of skills that I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. And most importantly, he's taught me how important it is to be outspoken, especially in 2020, and I can't thank him enough for that. So thank you so much, Bob. Thank you for all the incredible lessons you've taught me, and thank you so much for being an incredible professor to all of your students in a time where it was very difficult to be learning virtually, and it was a very different semester for sure, but you made it a great one. So thank you so much, and thank you for watching this video.